Well, if you've been joining us for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about loving. We have a God who loves us and a God who calls us to love each other. And so we're going to be continuing that theme a bit this morning. But we're going to be coming at it from a slightly different angle today. So if you've got your Bibles with you this morning, you can turn to Matthew 6, and if not, the words will be up on the screen there. But Matthew 6, 19 to 21. This is Jesus speaking in what is called the Sermon on the Mount, and near the end of that portion. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Anyone squirming in their seat? No, you're all holy when it comes to money, so that's fine. What does it mean? Question for you, and a question for you to talk to the people around you. And I'll give you a couple of minutes with this. But what do you think it means to store up riches in heaven? Or store up treasures in heaven, whatever word you want to put up there. What do you think that means, to store up treasures in heaven? Have a chat to the people beside you, behind you, in front of you, under your chair, wherever you find them. And you have a couple of moments with that question. All right, sorry. I invite you to start talking, then I ask you to stop. It's very rude of me. Does anyone have anything from their little group that they would like to feed back on? What does it mean, in your opinion, in your thoughts, to store up riches in heaven? We got any thoughts? Peter? You can go to heaven, but you can't take the biscuits with you. Is that right? Perfect. No. Can't take the biscuits with you. That's good. Anyone else got any thoughts about what it means to store up our riches in heaven? So you all talked that whole time and you were actually talking about the weather or the sports or... Yes. About believing in God. Yep. Sure. Yeah. It's about belief in God and about being rich in Him. Excellent. Anyone else got any thoughts? Using your giftings and blessing others. Nice. Right. Okay. Cool. So if you've created a life that is of good and good memories and things, you can take those with you when you leave the biscuits behind, but you can take the memories with you. Okay. Okay. Any other thoughts? Okay. So acts of service to others and things like that. That's you're doing good, and that's like doing good to God. And that storing, is that, yeah. Yep, as if to Him. Yep, cool. All right. So obedience to God, doing what He has, what His will is, what He has ordained, and things that will last over into eternity. Very cool. Very cool. So lots of good thoughts there. Thanks, guys. So first off, I want to just think about what it means to store up. To store up. Because we can, especially when we look at the word treasure in there, we can think of our material possessions. We can think of material wealth. And that's very normal to think like that, and that is part of that. But that's not the entirety of it. When Jesus is talking about storing up treasure, He is talking about what are we putting in our storehouses, what are we keeping in reserve, what have we got at our disposal, what have we got in abundance, and what are we doing with that? You see, the treasures are not just our wealth and our money, although that is one aspect, but it can also be our dreams. It can be our skills. It can be our giftings. It can be our time. It can be our family. It can be all sorts of things. It is the resource that you have that brings you a sense of security and joy. So that's going to be different for different people. There are some people who their wealth will bring them a sense of security and joy because of what they can trade it for and just knowing that they have reserves there if anything goes bad. But for other people, that will be other things. It might be time. Time might be someone's greatest resource, just knowing that they have enough time to do something or to give of their time to others. And the storing up itself is not the issue. In fact, elsewhere in Scripture, we are encouraged to be wise with what we have and to not squander away things, but have wisdom in how we use what we have. It's not the storing up that is the issue that Jesus is talking about. It is the value of what we are storing up. You see, the things that He is talking about, they will not last. They will not pass through into eternity. The message this morning is called The Economy of the Everlasting. We want to think about what is it in God's economy? What is of value in the kingdom of heaven that will not be affected by mold or rust or thieves, or it's not going to just crumble like a cookie? It's not going to run out like time. It's not something that we can store up like great amounts of wealth in our bank account that mean nothing once we're gone. It's what is of value that will pass through the end of this age and into the age to come. So I want to do a quick little activity with you here. So put your hand up if you like chocolate. All right, there's a few of you. Keep your hand up. Put them up. Keep your hand up if you're allowed to eat chocolate. Oh, good, most of you. Thankfully, not too many have to put it down that you like chocolate, but you're not allowed to eat it. Keep your hand up if you would like to eat chocolate right now. Okay, there's still some more of you. All right, Sarah, I see that hand, and it was high. I noticed it. Everyone else is sort of like this. You guys can put your hands down now. I've chosen my volunteer. Sarah, come to me, Sarah. Some of you are like this. This is Sarah. Sarah likes chocolate. No. So you like chocolate, and you're allowed to eat chocolate, and you'd like to eat some now. Great. All right, well, I have chocolate for you.
Oh, thank goodness.
This is not... You can eat that right now. We'll all watch you. Don't feel awkward about it at all. Okay?
Just so you know, I'm not sharing.
Is that good? You enjoying that? All right. Would you like another one?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here you go. Hold that. I can take your rubbish for you. There you go. I'll put that in that pocket there. All right. There's some more for you. Do you want to eat that one now, or do you want to take that away for later?
I'm happy to eat it now.
You're happy to eat it now. What's your limit to what you would eat now? You just say when. All right. I see I've picked a willing volunteer. So you would happily sit there and eat all of those right now? No, okay.
Very good.
No, okay. That's probably true. All right. So what you could say, you might have one more. All right, fair enough. You keep hold of those. Keep hold of those. We still need you. What you might say is, in this moment, you've got an abundance. You've got more than you need, more than you can consume yourself. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Okay. So what could you do to store up your chocolate so you can have it when you want it? What are some of the things you could do?
I could hide it so no one else finds it.
Mm-hmm.
I could put it in the fridge.
Right. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. You're talking. Everyone's listening to me. Let's go again.
Okay. I could hide it so that no one else could find it, and only I would know where it was. I could put it in the fridge. Yep. But then other people might eat it. You see, it might disappear. Right. Yep.
Would that be a problem in your household? Yes. All right. Paul, we're looking at you, mate. All right. Stop stealing your wife's chocolate. All right. Couple of options. Let's say this represents your wealth that you've got. This is all the wealth you own. So you're doing well. You're doing well. You've got a couple of options as per thing. You could, like you said, you could hide that away in the pantry at home. That might not be the best hiding place at home, because that might be the first place Paul looked. You know, you might need to come up with a better home place. But you could put it in the pantry. You could store it up in your own in your own storage space. That's the pantry. That's your own storage. That's your own barns. You could put it in the bank. You know, you might find it a little bit more secure in the bank, you know, depending on whether it's a joint account. Paul can't get to it if it's in the bank. All right, so it might be safer in a safe deposit box. Or what is popular nowadays is you could put it in chocolate and hope that it makes more chocolate. So you could invest in chocolate stocks and hope that you get an even greater return in crunchies. So Sarah, you can now decide where you would like to divvy up your abundance in those spaces there, whether you'd like to put them in your own storage space. It's up to you. You divide those up. Yeah, that's entirely up to you. It's your wealth. You do what you would like with it there. Okay. All right. This is very. Yep. That's good. I can take that off you now. There we go. But stay there. So you've spread that. You've spread your wealth out, and you think that'll be safe for a while, maybe. Yeah. How long do you think that'll last?
I'm not sure. It's chocolate. It'll be gone quite quickly, I think.
Right. Because you'll eat it, or because? Oh, look! There's already a return on investment. 3 crunchies just became 3 crunchies and a Moro. All right. This is great. If anyone else has got chocolate, feel free to come and add to Sarah's investment portfolio here. Now remember Jesus warned us that there were some things that can get to our wealth, isn't there? All right. I need 3 more volunteers, 3 people who like chocolate. So let's see those hands again. Like chocolate, allowed to eat chocolate, would like to eat chocolate now. There's a lot less volunteers. All right. Come on up. 1, 2. Come on then. 3. Yep. All right. Just come over here. Just hang on. You might get chocolate, you might not. There's no guarantees. Hey. I heard that. All right. You're going to be my moth? I'm sorry, but you're my vermin. Sorry. And because you've already done so, because it seems fitting, you're my thief. All right. So we got our moth, our vermin, and our thieves that can come and see. I mean, the chocolate you put in the pantry, that might be safe from thieves, other than Paul. And it doesn't matter where you're positioned. It's all right. But you see, moth or mold might get to your chocolate in your pantry, mightn't it? Might not last forever. Do you want to come and have a chocolate out of the pantry? You're allowed to eat it. And your chocolate that you put in the bank, you know, that might be safe. It might not. We never know. But you know what? At the bank, the rats got in, and they ate a lot of the chocolate in the bank. You're just going to eat one. You can take one, vermin. You get to eat it. So you can have one, vermin. And your stocks, they were looking good. They were rising in value. But then, unfortunately, a couple of billionaires decided to short sell on you. And those thieves stole all your money. So he said, look how happy he is. He took 2. Oh, sorry, he put them back in your pantry for you. He's a very polite thief. So no matter what you do with your chocolate, it's not going to last, is it? No. Even if you've managed to keep it safe from the moth, the vermin, and the thieves, it's not going to last because it's chocolate. All right, thank you, moth, vermin, and thieves. You guys can sit down. You can take your chocolate with you that you've got. So you can take one. 1. Sarah's got to be left. You can keep the signs, but I might want the pegs back. Otherwise, I'll get in trouble. There you go. You can go home and tell everyone you're a vermin. You're not a vermin at all. So, Sarah, you've still got a little bit of chocolate left, but let's say all your chocolate was gone, because it's not going to last forever. Yeah. What could you possibly do with your chocolate to give it some lasting value?
I could share it with others and bring some joy to them for a few minutes.
Off you go. Now the question is, will she share it out evenly, or will she... We're all about to find out who Sarah's favorite people are. If you don't make the list, don't feel bad. Thank you so much, Sarah. You'll never say you like chocolate again in church. That's true, yeah. It's sort of the color of a card that she might get if she was 65, but it's not. So you may go and sit down. Thank you so much. Give her a hand. You see, the chocolate, no matter how much Sarah might be able to eat in the moment, and probably if we pushed her, she probably could have eaten all of that, but she may well have not felt great afterwards. And no matter if she stored it away for another day, that chocolate is not going to last forever, and it's not going to be something that she can take through into the age to come, into her life in eternity. That's not something that even if Paul buried her with a casket full of crunchy bars, she still doesn't take them through with her to the next life. But a way that she was able to transfer the value into something that would last is through what she did by sharing out. And it's not because now the people that she shared with now have a crunchy bar that they can take through to eternity, especially because it looks like most of them have eaten it. But she may well have built some friendships through the giving of what she has. And those friendships, those relationships, that love for one another is something that does pass through into eternity. That is something that has value in the kingdom of God. Love is the currency of the kingdom of heaven. So 2 things that I think are things that we can store up, our treasures in heaven. First one, Luke 12, 13 to 21. It's a big long one. I'll read it out. I'm sure you've heard it before. Luke 12, 13 to 21. Someone in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." Jesus replied, "Man, who appointed me a judge or an arbiter between you?" Then he said to them, "Watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." And then he told them this parable. The ground of a certain rich man yielded an abundant harvest. And he thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops. I've got too many crunchy bars for me to eat. What am I going to do with them all?" And then he said, "This is what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns that I already have, and I'll build bigger ones. And there I will store up my surplus grain." That's like Sarah deciding to build an extra pantry at home so she can fit all her excess crunchy bars. And when that's full, she decides to kick Paul out of his garage, and she starts filling his garage up with crunchy bars. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich toward God. And this is what you were saying before over in the corner. Our love for God is something that is of eternal value. No amount of physical wealth or possessions or anything that we can store up, no amount of skills we have that we store up, no amount of time we think we have that we store up has eternal value outside of the love of God. And so the first thing we think of is loving God and recognizing God's love for us. That will pass through into eternity, and it will grow exponentially. The love for God that we currently know will not only continue, but will grow. As we are with Him face to face, in eternity with Him, in new creation where His glory lights the world, our love for Him will just continue to blossom. Luke 16, 1-8. And Jesus told His disciples, there was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. So he called him in and he asked him, what is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management, because you cannot be manager any longer. The manager said to himself, what shall I do now? My master is taking away my job. I'm not strong enough to dig, and I'm ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do, so that when I lose my job here, people will welcome me into their houses. So he called in each one of his master's debtors, and he asked the first, how much do you owe my master? 900 gallons of olive oil, he said. The manager told him, take your bill, sit down quickly, and make it 450 gallons. Then he asked the second, and how much do you owe? 1,000 bushels of wheat, he replied. He told him, take your bill and make it 800. The master commended the dishonest manager because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than are the people of the light. Now, if that's a little bit confusing for you, that's okay. It can seem a bit confusing. It's a bit of an unusual story, and it depends on who we think is who in this story. But here is this manager is a person he's been squandering his possessions. So instead of storing them up like the man in our last parable from Jesus, here's a man who's been wasteful with what he has. And when he realizes that none of that's going to last, what he had through his position in the household as this manager of this rich man, all his status came from that. All his security came from that position in the household. When he realized that was all going to be gone, he thought, what can I do that is going to have some lasting value after I'm gone? Because I'm too weak to go out and do any honest work. And I'm not going to go out and beg on the side of the road. I've got far too much pride for that. I was once the manager of the rich man's house. You won't find me on the side of the road, tin in hand. So he thought, well, what I'll do is I'll go to the debtors of my master, and I will reduce their debt. And in so doing, I will make them in debt to me, because I'm the one reducing the debt. And so that when I'm gone, then they will remember what I did and they will look after me, maybe even take me into their own home, maybe give me shelter, maybe give me food. I mean, I saved one guy 450 gallons of olive oil. That's got to be worth a good amount. So he recognizes that with his resources coming to an end, what he can do to create something of value that will last after his current position. And Jesus says, if the people of the world, in thinking about their own business matters, can behave like that, why cannot my children, with the resources that I have given them and in the things that have value in the kingdom? And he's really talking about that very thing that Sarah did at the end there. Taking what she had, taking the abundance, and instead of storing it up for herself, knowing that it would not last forever. I mean, that small amount of crunchy bars obviously would, they'd be eaten in a day. But knowing that it would never last, but taking that and using that to create friendships and relationships with others. She created something that had value outside of the chocolate. When we love others, when we build relationships with other people, we are accumulating something that will last through eternity. Whether or not those relationships will look exactly like they do now, I think not, because there'll be no brokenness. But just in the same way that our love for God will grow, I believe our love for each other will grow. We will see each other in brand new light, illuminated by the gloriness of God. All those deceits and lies and all those little things that sit underneath the surface of every relationship we have, even the closest ones we have, maybe with our own spouses, where we try and be as open and honest as we can, but there's still that thing that we hide or that thing that we don't feel we can quite open up because we fear we might get rejected or humiliated or misunderstood or whatever it is. All of those things passed away. And we can love each other in a way that is pure and authentic. But that starts now. That starts now. We can store up riches in heaven by loving God and loving others. Sounds simple when you break it down to a handful of words, but we all know there's all sorts of things wrapped up in that. But as we think about our treasures, and again, it's going to be different for each and every one of us here. The things that we hold dear, the resources that we have that bring us a sense of security and a sense of joy, whatever that is for you, what are you doing with that resource? Are you storing it up for yourself for a rainy day? Are you investing in yourself? Or are you investing in others? Are you investing love to the people around you? Are you using the resources, the gifts, the services that God has given you to love and create relationships that will last into eternity? Are you loving Him with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole body, all of your strength? You know, when Jesus came to build His kingdom here on earth, He didn't come and build up a big palace. He didn't come and create a giant army. He came and created 12 close relationships. And he allowed those people to come close to him and to learn from him and to see who he was. And from there, he sent them out to do that to other people. He created disciples and he said, go and make more disciples. Go and create relationships where people can get close to you, see me through you. In so doing, come to know me and turn around and do the same thing to others. That's how he built his kingdom. You know, we are not just blessed to be receivers of love, but we are also invited into the joy of being givers of love. And if any of you know what it's like to love someone else, which I pray that everyone in this room does, you know what a joy it is to give love to another person. And you also know how painful it can be. Because love costs. But love is worth it. Just imagine what it might have been like 186 years ago in this country if love was the thing that we came together to fight over instead of land or power. What would it look like if love was the commodity? You know, and just in case you're sitting here and you think, you know, well, that's all well and good, but that's what the Bible says, and I don't believe the Bible or trust any of that stuff. There's a longitudinal study that they did at Harvard, and it's one of the longest running studies that has ever been done, looking at the development, looking at adult development and human development. And in this room, we'd say there's some longer studies that have looked at human development, namely the one that's in the Bible that looks at human development from the beginning of time, but that's okay. We're not all students of Harvard here. But one of those longest running studies into what makes people flourish and experience well-being. And it started back in 1983. And this is their conclusion that they came to. It's the longest in-depth longitudinal study on human life ever done, and it's brought us to a simple and profound conclusion. Good relationships lead to health and happiness. That is the thing that they identified over all these different people, some of which were extremely wealthy, some of which who had not much at all, some of which that were healthy, some of which that were sick, some of who were young, some of who were old. The thing that contributed most to their health and happiness were good relationships. Love God, love others. So the question for us all this morning, and it's not just you, it's for me as well, is what are we building? What are we investing in? Where is our treasure? Are we investing in things that will last forever? Are we investing in the things that have value in His kingdom? Or are we investing in ourselves and investing in our own security, in our own wealth, storing up our own time to do the things that we want to do? Or are we loving God and loving others and investing our energy in doing the things that Jesus has ordained us to do? Be disciples and make disciples of others. Love God, love others. Amen.